In January, the BBC Panorama Current Affairs team were planning a programme to be broadcast in the run-up to the 2015 general election. They chose to focus on Lowestoft because Waveney was a marginal parliamentary seat and previous voting patterns made it a bellwether. Owen Phillips, the producer, met with Lowestoft Movie Maker members and asked about archive film material for possible use in the programme. The club supplied 25 films on DVD and also offered access to the studio theatre for shots and interviews. On Monday the 2nd of February, Ron Rushmere opened up the club premises while the BBC film crew arrived at the Deans. David Bucknell and Alan Ruff were on hand to capture this for the club. Panorama's programme presenter was to be John Humphreys of Mastermind fame. And the net drying racks were to be a reference to Lowestoft's bygone heydays of fishing.
Fairly leisurely pace, John, so you're looking around as you go. Okay, John, that's good to there. Good. Back up 20.
No, back from there, keep looking, and that's 4 paces stop.
Stop and look around, John.
4 paces forward. That's it, great there, thank you.
With the outdoor shoot in the can, everyone repaired to the studio theatre in Sparrow's Nest.
Go in, gentlemen.
Hello, Henry.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm talking about you.
Ron Rushmere and Alan Pettit set up a 16mm projector in the aisle. This was to feature and to add atmosphere. David Bucknell made friends in the crew.
Hi, I'm the sound engineer.
Alan Ruff grabbed some shots of their equipment. And John Humphreys made the acquaintance of Ivan Bunn, the local historian. The crew assembled a short dolly track in front of the screen.
Okay. What we're going to do is a sequence where John comes into the cinema, comes in and sits down. We'll see him just watching this film at start, and then once he's watched it for a little while, Ivan will come in. So we'll work it as 2 separate sequences in our film and cut it together. So Ivan will come in, and then John and Ivan will have a conversation. So we'll start off. There'll just be John coming in, but we'll keep the film running during the whole thing.
All right, that's what
We may well find if we need to rewind it and play it again, that's okay.
Oh yeah, fine.
Because we'll obviously come from back here as well
Right.
and shoot this way.
There's a body to bounce back on the light and John.
Really?
Oh.
Which film are you showing, Ron? Sorry.
We're going to do that. We won't be filming that way.
Okay, fair
we'll be
enough.
filming
Is there a way then that we could use the archive we've got, which you've seen,
Yes.
and we could put it there in post-production?
We can, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, no,
So I can say to, what I would like to be able to do obviously is come in, as you say, sit down, have a good day, and then at what point does Ron, as it were, join me? Does Ivan film it?
Well, we'll have Ivan join you in this while the camera's set up down here. So we're not going to shoot not going to shoot it in sequence.
And we do a bit of post-production kind of stuff. Ivan comes in, so then I don't say to Ivan what we are now watching.
We know
that's what I need to know. But what I am able to say to Ivan is that film was Lowestoft at its prime, or something like that. Okay. All right.
So we can talk about whatever you...
Yeah, I was just...
Lights, camera and sound are ready to roll.
Okay.
So Ivan, what we're seeing here is Lowestoft in its prime as a fishing town and how. When was it the really kind of the glory days?
The glory days, the peak of the fishing in Lowestoft was the biggest amount of fish ever caught in the town was in 1913. We had a fishing fleet here then of 1,000 vessels in the autumn.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah. And of course, on top of with those were many of the Scotch vessels that came down, followed the shoals of herring in the autumn. Our mackerel and herring dock here at Lowestoft was the biggest in Europe, and some people have said at that time it was the biggest in the world.
We're eating an awful lot of herring and
We
mackerel.
certainly were. To look at their town and say, right, we need a new identity. We can cut away from the nostalgia, and we can get on with looking forward.
But there has to be something to look forward to, and the...
Well, this is the problem. What is there to look forward to? Lowestoft is a seaside town, and it has quite a thriving seaside music. Perhaps that's where the future lies. I really, really don't know. I just can't help feeling that it is my generation, with our nostalgia, that it's just stopping perhaps people from saying, we could do this, we could go there. I don't know where. I don't know
Well,
how.
that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And as you say, it's a delightful seaside town.
We had a railway.
By when did you say?
1850.
Yeah.
Okay. This is true.
Yes, but you've just been
But
telling
the
me how you
future-
can't live in the past.
But the future is more important. That's how I see it. But how that future is managed, what our local elected people do, what the national elected people do, I don't know.
And you have grandchildren.
It does seem strange that Ivan, whose expertise is knowledge of the past in Lowestoft, should be asked for his ideas of the future. The Panorama programme is scheduled for broadcasting in March. The producers have made many other contacts in the town, and it will be interesting to see what story they've put together and how Lowestoft movie makers' small input has been used.
And then they close ranks and they pull up the drawbridge, and Lowestoft is an attractive town. It's a good seaside town, and it's got a lot going for it. But I suppose, to a greater degree more than anything, the future of this town depends on the economic future of this country.
Oh, you have to cut there. Just have a...
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that.
He's in tomorrow sometime.
Massage Voices of the Nation, John Humphrey. Having a conversation with the voice of my child.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, especially come mastermind and do the history of fishing in Lowestoft.
Well, why not? Which bit, which country, which... and she said, oh, all of it. And she was serious. So we had to explain to her that perhaps we should... And in the end, she narrowed it down to Australia. I got to be yes, the rose among thorns.
Yes,
Yeah.
true, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because John
John coming in.
Yeah.